prepared for a laugh today.
What?
We just watched this movie called Wonder Woman 84 or WW 84. I don't think I laughed at all during the movie.
Well, it's not a comedy, is it?
I don't think so.
Not really.
No, it's not.
What would you class this movie as? Action adventure?
That's being generous.
A love story?
Does the action have to be good to be called an action adventure?
No.
It just has to contain action, right?
Yeah. What would you classify this, Karen?
I don't know. I don't. That's why I asked.
You can't. You got to have at least an
No, I
opinion.
don't. No,
That's bull
Well,
crap.
before we get started, let's just make sure that we are, I think we're good.
Get through the basics.
We're good. Okay.
Do we want to tell our viewers or our listeners right now what we're doing this podcast that's outside of the movie?
We can.
Okay. Because that'd be like a soapbox kind of a thing, right?
Right.
Because it's not part of the movie.
Yeah.
Jeff, fill us in, man. What do we got going on here?
Well, we got some extra cords and some extra equipment laying around here.
Yeah?
This may not even work out. At best case scenario, you can watch us on YouTube.
Oh. Okay.
At some point.
At some point.
At some point.
That's awesome.
Our first attempt at videoing.
If you're listening to this
Yeah.
in podcast form, chances are it's not quite on YouTube yet.
Right.
That's I've got the podcast, the audio part, getting that out into the whatever you call it, the cloud.
Yeah.
I got that down. But it's the video part that I need to practice.
Okay.
So
we're
that might
practicing.
take a day or two.
You're practicing that now.
Right.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I'm kind of pumped about it because we've
Yeah.
been talking about this for a year.
Yeah, so the selection committee has been on me. They've been on me about, okay, guys, what are you going to do? In the group text, they're like, what are you going to do for the movie?
Right.
So I'm texting you guys to find out, and all I'm getting from you guys is, open the box. Open the box.
What's in
I'm
the
like,
box?
they're not giving me anything. And they're like, okay, well, it's getting down to crunch time, so what do you think? So
Finally, I'm glad the selection committee came back and gave you some direction, and I think that they gave you. I think that you had the direction. I don't know. You had some stuff going on, I'm sure, that was limiting your ability to really get that going.
well, yeah. But once I got it going,
That was all over.
you couldn't stop me.
A force of nature, Jeff?
You could say that.
A force of nature.
Force of nature.
Yeah.
A force of something. But yeah, this is just really exciting. I've been, I think this has kind of been something we've been talking about for at least a year.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a year at a minimum.
least,
Yeah. So,
We might have talked about it last December, November.
Yeah.
Like a little over a year.
right.
Well, next steps for Rewatch Mafia. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm digging it. I'm thinking it's cool. I can't stop looking at the red light, though.
Yeah, it kind of, well, yeah, you have the best view.
I just want to look at the red light.
We may have to cover that up.
Stare into the light. You put a little piece of tape over the red light so Aaron can't
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
I'm like a cat. Just follow the red light around.
So, Wonder Woman, 1984.
Yeah.
Brand new movie. Was supposed to come out last summer.
Yeah.
Some stuff happened.
Yeah.
Got pushed back to December, movie theaters and HBO Max. So we get to stay safe. We get to stay home and watch Wonder Woman 1984.
Yeah.
We usually talk about some things that have happened the year a movie came out. This came out in 2020. Do I really need to?
Oh, yeah.
Do we need to?
Oh,
Would you
yeah.
talk about
Oh,
stuff
Let me know
that's
what happened.
Do
Oh,
we need
yeah.
a refresher?
Oh,
I
yeah.
do, because it's been so long ago. It's
Okay.
been at least a few days.
6 days? 8 days?
16.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened in 2020, Jeff?
Well, might as well go there. Kobe Bryant, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Eddie Van Halen, Chadwick Boseman, and Alex Trebek pass away.
Huge icons in their industries. Huge, iconic individuals.
Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah?
Yeah.
The Beirut explosion.
Wow.
Wait, what?
The explosion in Beirut.
I didn't know about that.
Oh,
explosion in Beirut.
left a giant hole in the earth.
I didn't know that.
Killed some people.
I literally didn't know.
Okay.
The non-news.
Well, this
channel.
isn't CNN. This isn't MSNBC. This isn't Fox News. I'm not going to.
I'm just saying, I don't watch the news, so that's probably why I don't know about the giant hole in the earth in Beirut.
Okay. The Black Lives Matter protests
I heard about
and
that.
riots and movement and all that stuff.
Okay.
Murder hornets.
Oh, I heard about murder hornets. They're a thing.
And if those things weren't bad enough, COVID-19,
Right.
the reason that we're stuck at home, except for us,
We're literally at our house.
you're at home.
Yeah. You almost live here, though.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, you guys are in my circle. I'm in your circle.
we are very circling.
Yeah,
Yeah, we circle.
right.
We live close by each other, too.
Academy Awards to be determined.
For this movie?
Any predictions
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
at the Academy Awards?
Yeah, absolutely.
Art
None.
direction.
Art direction. Art direction might be
Our favorite
Yeah.
category.
Yeah, art direction will be it. That'll
Yeah,
be
probably right. Karen, what do you think? Probably nothing.
Yeah.
For 1984?
It's probably going down in flames. And that,
No acting
nope.
category.
It wasn't a real high quality acting piece. None of
Okay.
it. Sorry.
No. All right.
I mean,
It had-
If you say so.
the little girl did a good job.
She did. It had a good storyline, but the
Did
whole,
it?
I thought so.
Okay.
I did.
Do we need to get to our rules before we start asking those kinds of questions, Jeff? Because those kinds of questions will lead down.
Just to get the mind going a little bit.
Ooh.
Go for it.
Okay. All right. Well, some other movies that came out. We do the top U.S. box office.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big year for movies at the theaters because
There was no box office.
theaters were shut down for a
Yeah.
good portion of the year.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, top three at the domestic box office: Bad Boys for Life, 1917, and Sonic the Hedgehog.
1917 came out before the whole
Came out.
box office shut down.
Yeah, that was like end of 19, beginning of 20.
Yeah.
And then Bad Boys for Life, Sonic the Hedgehog, those were like within the first 2-3 months
Yeah.
of the year.
Then everything shut down.
Did you see, either one of you see Bad Boys for Life?
No.
Nope. And I didn't see Sonic the Hedgehog.
I saw Sonic the Hedgehog, unfortunately, and then I did not see Bad Boys for Life. I want to see that.
Huh.
I do want to see because I liked 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
I will watch it eventually when it's on for free for
When
my
it's for
streaming, one of my streaming services.
Some other movies that came out that came out last year, sorry.
Tenet.
Birds of Prey,
Yeah.
right, Tenet, that's
That
one,
It was a huge one that I didn't watch.
right.
Did you watch it?
Nope.
No.
It kind of got squashed by the whole.
But we're going to be doing that here in the next couple weeks
Oh, cool.
for this episode,
Okay.
or for the
Nice.
show. So,
All right.
but we got Birds of Prey, The Invisible Man, Mulan, Emma, and The Old Guard, which came out on Netflix.
I watched The Old Guard.
Good movie.
I like the story.
A lot of action.
A lot of action. Charlize Theron,
Like her.
really fun. She's kind of gone. She went a little. I'm going to say butch. You know, that's a term that I had used when I was growing up. She's very manly in this one. She
For lack of a
she does-
better term.
Yeah, she does it well. But she comes off as this badass, and she
Nice.
plays it well.
Isn't
and-
she like hundreds of years old too?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm probably like 1,000 or more. Like,
Okay.
she's like, they don't know how old she is. But she's just got that persona. Like, she's that old and everything doesn't matter. And
when
she
you're that old, it doesn't.
and she didn't, and she played it really well. She just, I dug her acting in that movie.
Interesting.
The storyline can continue as well, so we should probably see a sequel sometime.
We probably will.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it'll be worth it.
Speaking of sequels, Wonder Woman 1984 was released Christmas Day of 2020, and we've got some rules. All right.
Now, I'm going to go back and forth on the microphone because I can see myself in the camera.
We've got comments from the Peanut Gallery. We've got a Google synopsis
Yep.
that we're going to rip apart.
Yay.
Find everything wrong with the Google synopsis.
I might actually like the Google synopsis for this movie.
Because
I'm just
you
putting that out there.
like the movie
Okay.
so much.
I'm just putting that out there.
Did you read it ahead of time?
No.
Okay.
No, I never do because I always want to be surprised.
Okay.
And
Right.
excited about it.
We've got our rules,
We do have some rules.
which they're not guidelines, they're rules. They're set in stone literally. I have a stone at home. It says
Yeah.
rule number 1.
Yeah,
Aaron shipped him in.
I did.
Yeah.
Karen helped me out. She
There you
actually
go.
brought the hammer.
Yeah.
Well, Karen had to because that's the only way that we would follow the rules in the past is if Karen was around. When Karen was not on the show, when she had to go
You
deal
were
with some family stuff,
willy-nilly.
we were all over the
Did you
place.
see that? I mean, I remember those days, and that was scary because we were wandering,
Yeah,
and had no direction
at all.
at all.
For 2 weeks.
Karen has the hammer. I had the chisel. You had the stone, and she made sure it went into the stone.
Okay.
We almost got kicked off every podcast platform, too.
Thank God
It
I'm
was
here.
nuts. Yeah. Then you came back, and then now,
Thanks
then
for
we
being
had. Then I ended up getting rounding up a selection committee to get it together to help keep us on track, take pressure off of Karen,
Yeah.
so she didn't feel like this whole thing was on her shoulders. So, rule number 1: the movie has to be made within the last 2 years.
Did we make it?
We did.
Wow.
This came out last
We're
month.
like way ahead.
Yeah,
On this one.
yeah.
This one is just beautiful.
I'm glad it's 2 years because if it was just in the last year,
So close.
so close, but also, with the theaters being shut down and movies getting pushed back,
Yeah.
quite frankly, there weren't a ton of great movies last year.
So quick question.
Yeah.
Now that we had like a little extra space, do we get to add that stuff on, or is that outside the rules? So the next movie, let's say, it has to be within the next 2 years.
It has to be within the next 2 years, within the last 2 years.
So we can't add that on, so it can be like 3 years next year.
No.
For next movie.
No. These rules, like I said, they're set in stone. There's no
no wiggle-
flexibility. There's no
wiggle room.
wiggle room. Nope.
That's bullshit. Sorry.
There's no bending of the rules.
That's bull stuff.
They're literally set in stone. Rule number 2.
Okay.
The movie has to have a runtime of less than 152 minutes. If it's at 152 minutes, no good. Has to be less than 152.
Right.
And what I understand is this one, we just squeaked in.
We did. 151 minutes.
Whoa. That's pretty close.
I think that
Did it have seconds after that too? Or
I
was it
think-
152 straight?
I think now this was the first of these movies that now they're starting to make these movies with our rules considered.
I think so. Well, that last meeting that you had with the executives down in California,
It must have made a difference.
it must have made a difference.
Right.
So
I'm trying to get them to make it even shorter because let's face it, 151-minute runtime, that's pretty long. Maybe about 30 minutes longer than any
Yes.
movie should be.
so you're thinking like the 120 mark is really good.
Yeah.
The 120 to 130, call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm looking at spots of this movie when she's doing her thing, and I want to giggle. We are not there yet.
Is that what you want to do?
I want to giggle.
want-
Okay, what's rule number 3? You're
Yeah.
interrupting.
Rule number 3. Now, this is more of a guideline. Okay.
Is it, though?
First two were rules. This is a guideline.
Fingers out.
Well, spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
We're
So,
going to spoil the movie.
if you have not seen Wonder Woman 1984,
Right.
pause this.
Pause. Yeah.
Go renew your HBO subscription, your HBO Max subscription, which
Right.
is what I did.
I did too.
And then
Yeah.
go watch Wonder Woman 1984. Watch Wonder Woman #1 if you haven't seen it already, which I hadn't. I had to see #1 so I could watch
What?
this. Hold on, yeah.
Whoa.
Really?
Then watch Wonder Woman 1984.
in my list.
Come back, press play,
Okay.
watch or listen to
I'm good
this.
with that. I'm good with that.
If you've already seen it, no worries. Just follow along. We're watching it right here on mute, which was a recommendation from one of the Peanut Gallery.
And we'll just fill in the dialogue from here.
Yeah, make up your own dialogue. It's much better. Directed by Patty Jenkins, written by Patty Jenkins and Jeff Johns, stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Kristen Wiig, Pedro Pascal, Robin Wright, Connie Nielsen. All right, let's have at it.
So the mall scene.
Yeah.
We just saw the mall scene.
Tear it apart, boys.
Oh my God, the
Go
special
for it.
effects blew. Even the special effects blew. You've got all this stuff at your disposal for special effects, CGI, whatever, and it's all good. We've seen numerous movies with good stuff, and this one seemed to have... one thing that I saw on the second time was later in the movie when she saves the two kids from the middle of the road. It's like a papier-mâché two kids that are strapped to her. You can see the strap. You can see that the kids aren't moving. They're not real. It looked like something from the 80s, which maybe was the point. I don't know.
I'm
The
thinking
movie
that was the
sucked.
point.
I was like, no, this movie wasn't shot in the 80s. This is Wonder Woman. Keep that stuff going.
Karen?
Boo.
That was my only excuse for it, was that it was...
It literally says 1984 in the title.
It is so 1980s in the movie style that they had to strive to make it 1980s bad.
No, Karen.
They had to make it 1980 bad?
They made this movie 1984 bad.
Yeah.
You can keep all the 1984, the blockbusters, the Walden books, and all the malls and all that happy stuff in there, and all the dumb clothes that we like to wear back then. Yada yada yada. But don't make the effects that bad, because she's still Wonder Woman.
Right.
You made the effects were better in the one when she was back in World War II.
World War One.
World War One, and that's how much I care about these series. So
She's kind of like the female Captain America.
and the
Right.
yes, and that effect should be there to make sure that we see that she is that badass.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you talked about the mall scene. Before that, the movie opens up with that flashback or the whatever. When she's a little girl
Right.
running that marathon or whatever. I enjoyed that very much.
Yes.
We get to see Robin Wright, who I love.
Oh,
I
really?
think she's great. Yeah.
Okay.
GNA.
Yeah.
GNA.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And then even the mall scene, I really didn't have a problem with it. Like, I was still on board. I was like, you know what? I knew the criticisms. I heard all the backlash towards this film going in. And even after those two scenes, I was kind of like, okay, I know there's still 2 hours of movie to go. Plenty of time for this movie to just go downhill. But I was still on board, even after the mall scene. I was like, okay, if it continues like this, I can find the fun. I can have fun watching this film.
Did you have fun watching this film, Jeff?
I found things to enjoy about it. I think it's good. Like, these superhero movies, there's a lot of them, and the majority of them are just another superhero movie. I think this one falls in that category, probably on the low end.
I was a little disappointed for a good lady superhero that they just dumped it in the ditch.
Now, how did you guys feel about the first Wonder Woman?
It was decent. Honestly, for me, it was probably a B, maybe even a B plus. It wasn't an A plus
Right.
film by any stretch, but this one comes at a C minus or a D for me. Like, if I'm grading on the old school grades,
Right.
this one comes in below average, way below.
Yeah, I feel the same way
Same.
about the first two.
Yeah.
Karen, how did you feel about the first one? I mean, I enjoyed everything except probably the ending. I felt like it was probably on this path of being one of the better superhero movies, and probably still is. But I think the ending, how it
Kinda
ended, it was
sucked.
like
Yeah,
it kind of
could've done
stunk,
it,
and
yeah.
then it definitely made it feel like kind of like just another superhero film,
I see that.
but still on the higher end. But you still enjoyed it, Karen?
I did. But I like the storyline in this one, but I think they just botched it with too much of the acting stuff. I mean, yeah.
All right, got to bring up Kristen Wiig.
Okay.
She's like the only bright and shining star in this movie.
She's a very bright spot.
She brings her humor You know, that whole thing and her acting in this movie was the only good acting that I saw. I mean, Chris Pine did a decent job, but his role in this whole movie kind of was weird.
Yeah.
Just weird.
Very
right?
weird.
So it didn't touch right, didn't feel right, didn't pass the smell test. Like, that's a bad bathroom. Don't go in there.
Right.
Yeah, he shouldn't have come back for this movie. They should have come up with a different storyline for that.
Kristen Wiig, she's Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
Becomes the Cheetah.
Right.
I don't know anything really about Wonder Woman
Yeah, me either.
going into these. I know nothing about the universe, the villains, nothing. So there was a point in the movie when I realized that she was going to be the villain. I don't remember what point that was, but I became curious, like, how? And when that moment came, it was like almost laughable. It was like, really? It didn't really make sense. I really didn't understand.
It's kind of funny because in some of the other superhero movies, you get that really bum 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 moment. You realize that
Joker falls into the vat.
Right.
Blah blah
There
blah.
is
comes out with a
not
smiley
that
face,
moment
right?
with her.
No.
It's just kind of, I wish to be a grade A predator, and that there's no.
It was like Steve maybe said something that rubbed her the wrong way, and she storms off. But she's mad at Diana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Whatever you got to do to make her the Cheetah. And I really didn't think that I think some people were kind of making fun of how she looked as the Cheetah. I had no problem with how she looked. I think the big issue was the fight scene at the end. I mean, it was just too dark. And I think CGI maybe wasn't up to par with me.
Well, and if they went through all that effort and storyline to get her to be the Cheetah, all the way to the end, and one small fight scene, and Diana holds her underwater, and boom, it's over.
Yeah.
I was like, you went through all this backstory to get the Cheetah to be the Cheetah, and we're just gonna hold the cat underwater. Boom, it's over.
That's what I do. I hold the cat underwater.
I mean, that's how I felt about it. I was like, oh.
I
okay.
don't, by the way. I don't.
Yeah, that's
It's just messed up. Yeah,
Sorry.
pretty laughable.
Sorry, guys.
Barbara's origins in the film, it kind of took me back to The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Jamie Foxx's Electro.
Yeah,
He's got the
there you
glasses,
go.
and remember he's like running around with the blueprints, you know?
Very similar.
Yeah.
Good. I like that. Yeah, tying it in.
Yeah.
And we didn't really score that movie too high either, did we?
No. Now, not saying that that's because, like Wonder Woman 1984, we're talking about Kristen Wiig and her character being the bright spot in the film. I think Jamie Foxx was the bright spot in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Right.
So we're not
As far as acting, yeah.
Right. I'm not saying that origin and that storyline hurts the film.
Right.
I have no problem with it, because in these two examples, I think that in these two terrible movies, that
the actor did a good job.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the storyline.
Does Gal Gadot actually fit into 1980 somehow? I mean, her hair's not 1980. Nothing about her is 1980.
nothing about her is 1980.
Well, but they're not trying to make her fit into 1980. She's not of this time.
She's not dressed like it was 1920 either, or 1915, you know? Seriously. So that was something, the incongruent clothing, style, everything, played it weird.
But she is from, where is she from?
She's from some hidden continent somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably are dressing like the
But
1980s.
she's been in America for, 40, 50 years, 60 years.
Which reminds me, okay, how long has she been in this job? Is she? So you have to imagine at a certain point, people are going to notice, hey, you've looked the same for the last 30, 40, 50 years.
She just ages well.
She
Ages really well.
yeah.
Does she just continue to change jobs, change locations, change
Probably.
all the time. That's kind of what they insinuated is she just changes.
How do you feel about Gal Gadot as Diana, Wonder Woman?
I liked her.
That's past tense, Karen.
Oh. Wow.
I was waiting for it.
In this movie, I like her.
Oh, okay.
Fair
what about the
enough.
previous one? Did you see the first Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Did you like her in that too?
She wasn't.
She was in it.
I don't know.
Her and Chris Pine.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like her as Wonder Woman in general.
Okay.
Do I like how she did in this movie? Not really. But I like her as the faceplate of Wonder
Of
Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Absolutely. I think she fits it pretty well.
Yeah, I think excellent choice for as Wonder Woman.
Yep.
And regardless of how you feel as her as an actress and how she portrays Wonder Woman or Diana, I think you have to acknowledge her screen presence. I mean, every time she's on screen, I mean, it's all the attention goes to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I didn't have a problem when I'm thinking about the first movie, you know, like I liked the Wonder Woman presented there, you know. So I don't know.
Pedro Pascal, aka Maxwell Lord.
Yeah.
He is
Slime ball. Perfect
Slime ball.
Perfect
Slime ball.
slime ball.
more than anybody in this film. I think he is giving 110%.
He's giving everything he's got.
Yeah.
Almost too much in some cases.
Yeah.
Especially near the end. It was a little bit over the top.
Oh yeah.
And it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still one of those things where it was like, wow, man, you've definitely lost your brains on this one. Which is fine.
Yeah. It got to a point towards the end where it felt like I was watching Bruce Almighty a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
when he's like, fine, everybody wins the lottery,
Yeah.
you know? The end where he's yelling for Alistair over and over and over again. I thought, again, over the top, but I liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
And he finds his son.
Some people had issues with some of the stereotypes.
Wait,
In particular, how Arabs were portrayed.
this movie was all about trying to knock down the stereotypes and all that. So how did people have a problem with portraying of the stereotypes? I mean, this movie
Arabs
was all about that.
using their one wish on nuclear war.
No, the one
Was-
wish was to make the Mecca or whatever that
Right.
was. From
And
the old,
was the United States that used their one wish on the nuclear.
well, they had the one dude who said, "I wish we had nukes."
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, the one dude.
Yeah.
The one dude.
Yeah.
I believe that was
The shot of the one guy who had the, I don't know, a lot of people had a problem with how Arabs were portrayed
Was it?
in 1984. I'll just say it just seemed like a lot of people kind of forgot to enjoy how to enjoy movies.
You must have read a lot of negative feedback about this movie.
Well, the first week or two that this film came out, it was like all over Facebook. It's all over Twitter.
Oh.
People have to give they're hopping on social media. They're giving their takes,
Yeah.
good and bad, huh?
good and bad. It was like, I saw some people that were like 10 out of 10. This movie's the best. I love it so much. Then you have people on the complete end. It really seemed like you either love it or you hate it.
Oh.
Anyway, all right. Reviews. Critic response first.
Okay.
We'll do critic response.
True critic responses?
From RogerEbert.com.
Okay.
Not from Roger Ebert himself, for obvious reasons. Christy Lemire wrote, "The quality that made the original film such a delight has been squashed almost entirely."
Oh.
Really? You don't agree? Karen? You don't agree?
Not entirely. There's some of it to like. It wasn't my fave, but yeah. the storyline still lives. You got some of the favorite characters in there, but it wasn't done great.
Especially the Steve Trevor stuff. It was weird, kind of creepy.
Okay. All right.
Chris
anyway.
Pine, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Trevor.
Yeah,
Steve Trevor.
that was.
He's got 2 first names.
Yeah.
Steve Trevor.
Yeah, it was done a little strange.
Richard Roper gave the film 3.5 out of 4 stars. Says, to be sure, we get a classic comic book movie storyline about a megalomaniac, madman intent on taking over the world. But there's often a relatively light tone to the proceedings. This is a throwback piece of pure pop entertainment.
Wow, he really.
He liked it.
I wonder if he got paid money to put that in. Is what I'm really wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else you got there, big guy?
How about a Google synopsis?
I think a
Okay.
Google synopsis.
Give it.
I'm ready to hear Google just be accurate as all get out on this movie.
Okay.
That'll be a first.
Diana Prince lives quietly among mortals in the vibrant, sleek 1980s, an era of excess driven by the pursuit of having it all. Though she's come into her full powers, she maintains a low profile by curating ancient artifacts and only performing heroic acts incognito. But soon, Diana will have to muster all of her strength, wisdom, and courage as she finds herself squaring off against Maxwell Lord and the Cheetah, a villainess who possesses superhuman strength and agility.
I had high hopes for Google, but they suck.
In the back of my head, when you said that, you're feeling good about the synopsis, that you
Yeah.
think you're going to like it.
Yeah.
It's like, how many of these have we read? And every time they're just bad. There's at least one sentence that's just way off.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening sentence that you read was off.
At least half of these, the opening sentence is completely wrong. Are we even talking about the same movie?
Do they do this on purpose just to... I mean, seriously.
You're still surprised when you go to the movie?
Yeah, like, wow, that synopsis was way off.
Now, just for comparison, because we've done this in the last few.
IMDb.
Diana must contend with a work colleague and businessman whose desire for extreme wealth sends the world down a path of destruction after an ancient artifact that grants wishes goes missing.
Much better.
God. Google. Fire your synopsis person.
I don't know.
That's much better. Much closer.
It's an IMDb user that has written this.
A user, not an employee. A user. Some Joe. Somebody out there.
Some Joe or Jane.
Yeah. Out there just hooked it up. Knew what they were doing.
All right.
I want the synopsis job for Google, and I will continue to make sure it is as good as it is. That's what I want.
Yeah, we still need that content.
We
Man.
still need the content. I want to be the synopsis guy. I just want to get paid for putting trash out there.
And you can do it.
And I can. I'm up for the job. I'm up for it.
All right. Are you guys ready for the peanut gallery?
Sure.
Oh, Jeff, you're going to kill me on these, man.
Okay, I got some positives, some negatives.
So the first time we did this, it was all negatives. The second time we did it, you threw in one little candy shot at the end with a positive.
A curveball.
It was a curveball. It was like getting a large candy at going trick-or-treating. That one house that gives you the one big candy
One
bar.
house. After you went to like 5 houses, you got like the vampire teeth,
Right?
raisins, and a pencil, and
Yeah. Got a big candy bar.
yeah.
Felt good. I'm ready. Karen, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Give it to us.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we'll start out with the positives.
Oh.
People that love the movie.
Are these guys trash?
These are comments from moviegoers like us,
Yeah.
like us, like you.
Little snippets.
Yeah, little snippets, comments, maybe 1 or 2 sentences from a movie review that I found online.
Okay.
All right, first one. I love this movie. 10 out of 10.
All right. Easy.
I really I'm not gonna hate on someone loving a movie. I'm not.
Sorry.
Aaron's just busting a gut.
This
over
is
here.
just Aaron's loving this.
Aaron just busted a gut.
Now, was it Matrix Reloaded, right? Matrix Revolution.
Revolution, yeah, I think. Yeah.
Someone who the person that said they watched it and couldn't retain anything, right?
Yeah, it's the same user.
I think it's the same.
Funny.
This was more in their wheelhouse.
It was in their wheelhouse.
All right, next one. I don't know anything about superheroes, so tell me to shut up, I guess. But I ate this stuff up. I know that makes me sound like a girl boss, but I am a girl boss, and y'all need to respect things that are objectively enjoyable. Pack it up and masturbate to the Joker.
I feel like that there's some underlying issues that she's...
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's okay.
And she's talking to a specific type of person.
Oh. Maybe
Not me, because
okay.
I didn't necessarily enjoy the movie The Joker that
Right.
much. Definitely not enough to
Right.
do that to.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, she's...
Moving on.
Seek counseling.
Something.
Yeah.
Take up a hobby.
There's anger issues.
There's those places that you can go to and just smash stuff.
Yeah, you need to get this out, not
Yeah.
online. Get it
Yeah.
out physically, and you'll be mentally better.
Get off social media and just
Just leave that alone.
Yeah.
Leave the social media alone, and just
Yeah.
get it out on a punching bag or somebody at a ring that somebody else can monitor. Please.
Yeah. Keep it legal.
Yeah, keep it legal. Sign a waiver.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do.
Next one. There were parts in the film that made little sense and are pretty far-fetched, but overall love the visuals and just pleasant to watch. That's very reasonable.
Okay.
I think. Very reasonable, right?
This person has a garden. And
Yeah.
and they grow flowers.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't bash the garden.
I'm not.
No.
I'm just saying. I'm picturing this type of person that posted this, and they don't get out much. That's fine. Good call. All right.
All right.
Love the comments.
All right.
Screw you.
This is not personal.
He's looking at me when he's saying
That's not
this
true. We
person
got
has a
video
garden.
proof I was not there. Only when you said something did I respond to you.
Gross tomatoes in the front yard that get eaten by deer.
That's right.
Again.
Next one. Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins never miss. Okay.
What are they referring to?
Not this movie.
Are they watching another movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good Lord.
Very great. I love women.
Okay.
All right. Last of the positives.
Excellent.
You know what's? I thought the negatives would be the best part.
No, the positives.
I think Aaron's enjoying these. a
The
lot.
the
positives.
positives ones are
They are
just
pretty
gives
funny.
me
All right,
pictures.
last one. Basically, women have to forever give up on men to become the goddesses that they are. I love to see it.
All right.
Wow, you picked some harsh.
Yeah.
Was that a positive or a negative? I can't even tell.
Okay, well, these are people that gave the film 5 stars out of 5 stars.
Okay, so say that last one again because I'm confused. I thought that was a
Basically,
negative.
women have to forever give up on men to become the goddesses that they are. I love to see it.
Okay.
To me, like, it really doesn't make sense. I don't think they're talking about the movie.
Yeah,
They're talking about the relationship between Chris Pine and Gal Gadot and how she has to give up.
Renounce her wish.
I don't
Her
think
renounce
so.
her
I think
wish.
this is
No.
something else. This is like just
This is yeah.
this is outside
Something
the
going
movie.
on here.
Yeah, this is something outside the movie
I
that I'm
know
not really sure what's
she's
going on. But
relating it
Yeah.
to outside the movie, but
I guess
Yeah,
whatever you got to do to enjoy this film.
Okay.
Whatever. I don't know.
yeah, we're critiquing the movie here, whoever
Okay.
you are. Jeez.
Time for the negatives.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay,
Hit me
first
up.
one. What in the ever-loving fudge happened here?
wow.
I had to change
Yeah.
Okay.
one of the words.
Fudge?
Fudge, yeah.
Fudge. Right on. Fudge.
Words cannot express how dismally bad this film is. Full marks to Pedro Pascal for fully committing to this drivel. This is basically Bruce Almighty, but worse. I swear I did not write that.
Oh, I was going to
did not
say,
write
dude, you
that.
saw
I
this
swear.
one before. No
I
way.
didn't know. That's why I included it, because I was like, oh,
Somebody thought the same thing as me.
copy and paste.
I liked Bruce Almighty.
I did too. Yeah.
It was entertaining. This wasn't as entertaining as Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, the difference is Bruce Almighty was like, it's
It was
a comedy. It's like in on the joke.
Right. This one wasn't? Oh, my
Wasn't
bad.
intended to be.
My bad. All right, so
No, I mean, Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins never miss.
never miss. 100%.
All right. Worst movie that I've ever seen in quite a while.
He hasn't been listening to our podcast to see something to rewatch. So, yeah.
Well, in quite a while.
Well, I mean, we did watch Matrix 2 and 3, which we didn't really give. I liked them, but not a lot of people did. But
A poor 1980s nuclear, politically fueled, toxic femininity nightmare of a film.
wow. He threw in, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Again, I think we got some issues here.
Yeah, there's some, again, counseling people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Counseling
Threw
and
a
whatever.
whole bunch under the bus right there. Instead of just critiquing the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good for positive or negative critiques, but there's some underlying issues that these people really need to get fixed, like life lesson stuff. I don't know.
Now, before I started digging into these, because I knew I wanted to bring these back,
Yeah.
because we did it the last couple, and these were fun to read. So I was kind of expecting, like, well, people didn't like this movie because of expectations, or they love this film because it's a woman superhero, and we really don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like there's more to it than just that.
I would say yes. I mean, I'm not completely ignorant, but good Lord.
Genuinely one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Just critiquing the movie. Probably a true statement.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the worst. I mean, I have watched really bad movies. Bad movies.
And then this is the one that we've taken a little bit of their recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
Best to watch with the sound off and no closed captioning. Make up your own dialogue. Trust me, you'll be better off.
Wow. That is funny. That is funny.
Well,
Went for the comic relief right there.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you what, I like Kristen Wiig in this movie. Obviously, Gal Gadot is a huge presence in the film. Her mantle for the Wonder Woman is really good. I think the overall movie storyline could have been not this and been much better. The whole wish thing, it's just psychotic. I mean, I'm giving this one a 1.5.
Well, Maxwell Lord, was his thing basically like asking the genie for infinite wishes, or
He wanted to be the genie.
yeah?
And
So he's Jafar.
He is. And it's just, words cannot describe.
Okay.
Alistair?
Here's just a kink in your whole storyline.
Mine?
Don't they make at the end everyone renounce their wishes? Right? Isn't that the point? Oh wait. Aaron's biting his tongue.
Well, you finish.
Please finish.
Okay.
You finish. Yeah.
Finish.
They're making everyone renounce their wishes.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a person in the end who does not renounce their wish.
Aw.
Who's that, Karen?
Alistair, the son.
Mm.
Did nobody else catch that?
I didn't.
Yeah, because he's sitting with his dad and he wishes to have the power of his father when he gets the wish and the dad pushes him away and
No,
leaves.
he asked for his father's greatness.
Okay, but he still got a wish. He still got the wish granted. And then all this stuff goes down where the dad becomes the all-powerful, and he's granting all the wishes, and he ends up, the dad renounces his wish and goes to find Alistair. Alistair never recants his wish.
Because he's probably going to be the villain in number 3,
Da, da, da.
which is going to be in present times.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Were they setting up for number 3?
They're not going to make enough money on this movie to make a number 3.
They're working on number 3 right now.
Anyway,
It's part of the DCEU, PTY, whatever. I wonder how much that influenced the storyline. Probably not much. There were probably like a few things here and there. Hey, you need to include these. We're Warner Brothers, so you need to include these to keep the whole universe thing going.
Just so we have an ongoing storyline. But that was just a little catch that hey, there you go. There's your next storyline.
Yeah.
Alistair.
See, I mean, like, I think if this were any other movie, that probably would get me excited. But it's like, yeah.
I'm get that disappointed feeling in my gut now. Already. Hey, going back to the storyline, just real quick. Once the genie renounces his wish, doesn't everybody else's wish that get automatically canceled? Shouldn't it?
It should, but not.
And how do you... Nobody made everybody get rid of their wish. Who else didn't renounce their wish?
There had to be hundreds of thousands, millions of people that didn't, because
they weren't watching TV at that second.
They weren't watching TV. And there's probably people who... I mean, Diana got to reap the benefits of her wish for a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's pretty much everybody else didn't get to yet.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice, Wonder Woman.
Must be nice, yeah. Why don't you go sing Imagine?
Well, anyway, there you go. We all were kind of wishy-washy and not in love with this movie.
I watched it twice, Jeff, just to make sure that I was on track.
I clarified with the selection committee, and they said I didn't have to watch it twice.
I'm going to have to talk to the selection committee about this, because that's BS.
I said, Aaron may have a problem with this.
He made me sit through it a second time.
Ooh.
I didn't make you do anything.
Jeff, do you believe that?
Yeah, I do.
Literally make you. No.
I believe you,
You
Karen.
chose to hang out with me while I watched it, which I appreciate, by the way.
Was that before or after she chose to watch Return of the King with you?
It was before. I had to watch. We had to complete the task before Return of the King came on.
Okay, just so for listener clarification, one of my favorite trilogies in all time is Lord of the Ring trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're flipping through HBO Max, and they got the trilogy on HBO Max right now. We watched Wonder Woman. It was late. I say late, it was like 9 o'clock or something like that, p.m. I turn on Return of the King. She stays up. Karen stays up with me and watches the whole 3-hour movie to the credits. She sat through the whole goodbyes, the hugs.
I do love that movie.
Oh, that was a complete choice, and I appreciate it. It was very nice having a movie companion last night that hung in there with me. So thank you, Karen. Sorry.
But it wasn't getting turned on until after Wonder Woman was over.
I had to double down. I really did. 'Cause I didn't want to come in here going,
what was
that was a really good movie. I watched the second time and wow, I really changed my mind. I didn't. Oh. It reaffirmed my position from the first time.
Me too.
So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's how you know.
That's how I know. That's why we rewatch stuff.
Exactly.
Anyway. So Jeff, are we missing anything?
I don't think so. I think I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we're good for this week.
I can say it.
Yeah.
Sounds
That's
good.
a wrap.